We're back with the darts content, and I'm going to stick to it this time. I'll be real. I've taken breaks away from content. I've done a content video. I've done a video there, then not one for a week, then not one for 2 months. I'm actually going to stick to it now. I love making darts content. I love talking about darts. Let's get to it. So, this is the 2026 World Matchplay draw. I'm going to run through the draw quickly and give a quick little preview about each game. I will do my day-by-day predictions, but I'm also going to do predictions for every game here as well. So Luke Littler, number 1 seed, taking on Nico Springer. Perfect draw for Luke. Wants to get into the tournament early on. I wouldn't say Nico's a bad player, but there's a lot of players on this right-hand side, the non-seeded players that Luke could have faced. Obviously, in round 1, nice easy start to the tournament. I think he still wins. Nathan Aspinall, Joe Cullen. Obviously, Joe Cullen had that insane game at the World Matchplay against Gary Anderson not so long ago. I think Nathan wins though, but again, that's that little section there. Luke Littler, Springer, Aspinall, Cullen is really strong. The 8th seed Josh Rock takes on Luke Woodhouse. Probably game of the first round for me. Woodhouse is someone who's very, very, very much close to winning a major tournament, in my opinion, against Josh Rock, who's slightly out of form, but I'd fancy Josh. Stephen Bunton, Neil Zonneveld. Again, Niels is, on his day, a very good player. Bunton is dropping down the rankings a little bit, back to sort of that top 16 mark that he was at a long, long time before he burst into the top 10, 8, 4. I think he still wins. Michael van Gerwen against Andrew Gilding. Goldfinger repeat of the UK Open final that Gilding won. Again, I'll fancy Michael, but again, that's another really good draw. Chris Dobie, Dirk van Duijvenbode, I think that could be electric. Dirk is wanting to regain that form that he had a few years ago. Chris Dobie as well. Johnny Clayton, Damon Heta. I think if this was Damon Heta like 2 years ago, this would have been a corker, but probably dropped off a bit. Johnny's game was obviously improved massively. Gary Anderson, Ryan Joyce, Anderson, for me, looks like someone who could win a major again. A lot of people doubt Gary Anderson, doubt him at your peril. Obviously, he was involved in the best ever World Matchplay final, in my opinion, against Menzies Sulovic. Ryan Joyce as well. Luke Humphries against Cameron Menzies. Menzies, of course, just won a Pro Tour event recently. He's going to come into this with a bit of confidence, a bit of belief that he can do something. Takes on the number 2 seed. Luke Humphries has already won this. Ross Smith, Kevin Doots. For me, people won't mention it, and I don't think people are mentioning it, but that is a proper underrated tie. Ross Smith, Kevin Doots. Both players are massively on the rise. Getawin Price takes on Martin Schindler. Again, Schindler's unlucky to not be in the top 16. Well, down to him personally, but takes on Getawin Price. You'd fancy Gezzy to win that. Danny Oppert, Rob Cross. Rob Cross being in the unseeded. I mentioned earlier about Luke Littler being lucky to play Nico Springer. He could have started off with Rob Cross and then potentially Nathan Aspinall or Joe Cullen. So, first round tie is actually really important in the match play. That is a very, very good game. Jan van Veen against Christoph Ratajski. A proper mismatch in terms of styles of play there. You've got the quick, energetic Jan van Veen against Ratajski, who will try and slow the game down. Vessel Neumann, Dave Chisnell. I like that one a lot. I really like that one, actually. Vessel is unbelievably good in form right now. Takes on Dave Chisnell. That could be a really interesting one. James Wade, Jermaine Wattimena, probably on paper one of the worst ties on there, but again, still James Wade can turn it on. Jermaine Wattimena, we know, has hit form, and then Ryan Searle, William O'Connor. I think this little section of the draw here, James Wade versus Jermaine Wattimena and Ryan Searle against William O'Connor, a real chance of making a quarter-final for one of those four. Ryan Searle, William O'Connor is a massive opportunity game. And that is the first round draw of the first round draw of the World Matchplay. Quickly run through it. So Littler taking on Nico Springer, Nathan Aspinall, Joe Cullen, Josh Rock, Luke Woodhouse, Stephen Bunton, Niels Oliver, Michael van Gerwen, Andrew Gilding, Chris Dobie, Dirk van Duvenbode, Johnny Clayton, Damon Hector, Gary Anderson, Ryan Joyce, Luke Humphries, Cameron Menzies, Ross Smith, Kevin Doots, Gedwin Price, Martin Schindler, Danny Nopper, Rob Cross, I'll go this side, Jan van Veen, Christopher Tysky, Vessel Neumann, Dave Chisnell, James Wade, Jermaine Wattamina, and Ryan Searle, William O'Connor. Let me know your first round tie, and let me know a potential shock in the first round. That is the draw reaction, my first round predictions as well, and I'll see you for day one predictions on the 18th of July. Thanks for watching.